Hi, I'm James. This is my first video for my transition. It's kind of weird talking to a computer screen. I've never made a video before of any kind. So I guess I just wanted this one to be sort of an introductory video. I came out in April of 2013, right after I'd gotten back from a study abroad through my university in Italy. I actually left early there because I was dealing with a lot of things and, trying to I was really depressed from repressing the fact that I am trans, and I didn't really even know what the term transgender meant until after I came out to a friend in April. And from the moment I came out, it was just a part of me knew that I couldn't hide anymore. So everything has been moving pretty quickly. I am out to a lot of people. I'm out on Facebook. I'm out to most of my family. My mom doesn't know still. I had told my dad back over the summer, and he's pretty unsupportive of me. He knows that I'm going to go ahead and do what I want to do anyway. He said, well, you're just stubborn like that, so you're going to go ahead and do whatever you want to do. I just wish you wouldn't. He did also tell me over the summer that I belong in a nut house, as he liked to put it. So he's not very supportive of my transition. And he knows that my mom will not be as well. She is very, very, very religious. She's what is called a literalist of the Bible. And literalist just means taking the word literally, but only in areas that people feel like they should. So, there are parts of the Bible that, if taken literally, would land you in jail. But my mom she's a very religious person, and she uses Christianity against people. And so my dad knows that it's probably not going to be good to tell her at all. But I wrote her a letter, and I mailed it to her a couple of weeks ago, and she still hasn't gotten it yet, because my dad intercepted it. And he said that he was going to come down next week and talk to me about coming out and transitioning and everything. And, I'm really not too concerned, because at the end of this month I will be 22 years old. So I'm 21 right now. And while, I still do depend financially for some things on my parents, I've pretty much been on my own for a little while. They did support me over the summer and everything, but since I've come back to school, it's been just me. I've asked them for help for money once, and they refused. So I think I'm going to be okay financially, even if it is a little bit of a strain at some times. But it is. So it's like, even no matter what he has to say, no matter my mom's reaction, I'm sure it won't help me emotionally, but I'm pretty sure that no matter the reaction, I'm going to follow through with my transition. My T date, as of right now, is October 30th, which is my 22nd birthday. I went and talked to the doctor last week, and she says that she needs to know that I'm at least in therapy and have been to a couple of therapy sessions. So I'm going this Thursday, the 10th, to talk to a therapist. When I originally called, there was only one therapist in this town who will write a T letter or just talk to a doctor about starting hormones. Sorry, my cat did something. There's only one therapist, and so I called their office, and they said that they're booked through November. And I told them what it was about. I said, well, I was hoping to start hormones on the 30th, and my doctor needs to like know that I'm in therapy, know that I've been speaking to a therapist. And they said, oh, okay, well, let us see if we can squeeze you in. And so they squeezed me in for this Thursday, and I'm going to have a standing appointment every Thursday. So I'll get in 3 therapy sessions before my T date. And the doctor told me, she said the only reason that she wouldn't prescribe T is if the therapist specifically said no. She said she just wants to know that I'm in therapy. There's no, like, in Texas, you just have to sign a waiver. I don't have to have the T letter. My doctor just wants to know that I'm at least in therapy. But I had a friend who went to her who just signed a waiver, and everything was okay. He wasn't in therapy at all or anything. So I'm not really concerned about that. I know that I'm ready. I know that I'm ready to start T. And it's been, like I said, it hasn't been that long since I came out, but it's still something that I've waited my entire life for. Something that I've kept hidden, in my conservative Baptist Christian family. Something that I've kept hidden for a long time. I remember the first time I remember knowing that I was trans is when I was 5 years old. And it's just, that feeling has been with me for 16, almost 17 years that I can remember. So I'm just really ready for this. I'll probably make a video once a week after I start T. Probably I'll make one. I'm looking at a calendar, so I keep looking off. Probably do one after my therapy appointments, just kind of, building up to actually when I start, and then of course when I start, do one every week, so document voice change and about how I'm feeling. The placebo effect will probably take over, and I'll probably be like, oh my gosh, look, I have one more hair. Wait, actually there's nothing there. I'm just really excited. I'm excited for the changes. I know it's going to be difficult with some people, considering where I am in Texas at a Christian university that just isn't really used to handling these situations at all. My professors have been pretty good. It just depends on the professor. I'm taking an upper level religion class this semester, and the professor refuses to call me by my name, and she also has called me ma'am several times, knowing full well that I'm trans, and I told her I would like to go by James, and she said, well, how about I just call you by your last name? And I was like, well, I guess that's better than by my birth name, but I really don't like when she addresses me as ma'am. Just kind of gets on my nerves a little bit. I work in the art department here, and I've talked to 2 professors. Everybody in the art building knows me very well. I've worked there for 3 years, so they know me pretty well. And I told one of my professors the other day, and she goes, yeah, I kind of noticed. She said I wasn't going to jump to any conclusions, but I kind of already knew, but I'm glad that you told me. So that, I have a feeling that's going to be the reaction with a lot of people, because just, I've completely changed every aspect of my appearance. I used to have long hair, wore dresses and skirts, hated it. I think it was really me just trying too hard to fit in, and there was one person who works in the art building, she's not a professor, and she said that she couldn't really figure out why, or like what I was trying too hard at. She just knew that I was trying too hard at something. And she said, now it really makes sense that you were trying too hard to be a girl when you really aren't one. So I'm not really too concerned about the art building. Generally people are more liberal there anyway. I think I'm more concerned about students, since it's usually one type of student that goes to my university. And I'm still a Christian. I think this has actually helped me become a better Christian, because there was always that distance between my relationship with God, or the distance between God and I, because I just didn't feel like I could talk to Him. I felt different, and now that I kind of understand, who I am, I know that I can have a relationship and know that, God has given me a reason to be here. And I think one of those reasons is to help my family, just sort of open their minds. I have a very closed-minded family. They're racists, they're homophobic, they're transphobic. They don't even really know what trans is. I've had to explain it to some of them, and my sister told me, she said, well, there comes a point in time when you try to get people to go in the right direction with God, and but there comes a point in time where you just know that there's no help for them, and you have to part ways. She said, I believe that being a Christian means being with my family of choice, so we cannot do life together anymore. Which really hurts, considering I've been really close to my sister. She's 12 years my senior, so there's quite an age gap there, but I've always been pretty close to her. And she has a 3-year-old, and she's pregnant and is due in February. And I know that I won't be able to meet the new baby because she doesn't want me in her life anymore. And yes, that makes me really sad. But I know that, in order for me to live my life, I cannot be weighed down by theirs. Like, not really weighed down, but I can't be just always trying to please my family and trying to do what they want me to do. I'm just ready to be me. So, I'm making the steps towards that. I'm starting T at the end of the month. I will probably have top surgery sometime next semester, depending on my funds. I'm just really ready. And I hope that, I think the purpose of these videos is not just for me to document my transition, but it's also for other guys who don't know where to go once they come out, who don't really know much about the process. So I really want these videos to help guys with their transition, any questions they may have. I'm pretty early on right now, but once I start T and I know more of the changes, how it has changed me, if at all, like if there's mainly there's going to be physical changes. I like people to contact me. I'm always willing and open to answer questions for people. So yeah, I will be documenting hopefully for a while. Like I said, this is awkward. I've never really talked or made a video before. So I hope that you'll keep watching. Bye.